What do you guys think about the protest organizer with the green card who's getting disappeared? Pretty
Excellent.
Much. You like it?
Excellent. He was the leader of that terrorist organization I was referring to earlier. What are we talking about?
He's not even accused of breaking any laws.
They're going after him because he's like anti-Israel.
Yes.
They're going after him because he organized the takeover of one of those schools.
I mean, people.
He's not accused
they said
of
it during the
breaking
time.
any laws.
Don't you remember?
They're not trying him for anything. They haven't even arrested him. They just disappeared him.
They don't do this to other protesters who do the exact same thing. It's just this issue.
They do now, and not only do they do it now, they said they were going to do it during the election. They had these people's pictures up on electric billboards driving them around. They promised that they had billionaires coming forward promising. They were saying, we have the AI technology now. We don't need your face. We can see your eyes. You won't work for us.
I see that kind of shit as anti-free speech. I don't like it.
I'm glad you said that, Taylor. I was thinking about this before the show, and I was like, I wonder where Taylor lands on this, because I know that free speech, particularly for individuals, is a big deal for you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I wonder if Taylor will defend. I guess this isn't a free speech that you hate, because you're not huge on Israel either. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I see this guy as not too different than Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson moved to America, right? He's not a permanent resident here. And he has made a career out of criticizing Democrats. And no one thought for 1 nanosecond that Joe Biden would disappear this guy. His platform is far bigger than this Mohammed guy or whatever his name is. It's not Mohammed. It just looks close to it. Yeah. And but so this guy organized a protest at a university, and they're like, he only has a green card. We're going to deport him. We're going to disappear him. First, he's in a New Jersey jail. Then his family and his attorney doesn't know where he is. Turns out he's in Louisiana. They moved him somewhere else. They didn't tell anyone. He's not accused of breaking any laws. He's accused of basically peacefully assembling a protest because he doesn't like what Israel's doing and America's support of Israel. And now he's just getting booted from the country for disagreeing with the Trump administration.
I don't know all the ins and outs of that story. I just saw like a protester who was protesting what both mainstream parties hate, which is like anti-Israel stuff. Like he's getting, the boot. And just on a base level, it's like, well, I don't like people getting the boot for their speech. Like if he was violent during a protest, that's different, because it's not speech anymore.
He is a member of a terrorist organization. He is a supporter of a terrorist organization, and he organized a violent Hamas.
I looked into Hamas. It, didn't see that.
They're the ones
Wait,
holding
he's
our
not a
hostages.
member of Hamas, is he?
I don't know. Marco Rubio seems to think he is.
Oh, Marco Rubio. I didn't know he weighed in.
He is the Secretary of State.
Yeah. His suits are too big.
I think maybe he's more buff than he looks, and it's hard to tailor him to not make him look extra macho. I think there's a lot of machismo in Marco Rubio.
No, Marco Rubio is wearing like his dad's suit. It's weird.
Dude, even Fox News is defending this guy. Like I saw a Republican on Fox News basically read the First Amendment to me. And like it seems to fit this situation exactly.
This guy's not a U.S. citizen. He's here on a student visa that he clearly lied on. Or he wouldn't have been allowed in.
I see it. Like, again, Jordan Peterson's not a U.S. citizen, and no one disappeared him for criticizing
criminal
Biden.
Takeovers.
Jordan Peterson's impact is far larger than this dude's.
And there's nothing
like
his what law has he ever broken?
What law has this guy ever broken? No one's accusing him of breaking any.
Or I am. They haven't accused me because they don't.
You are.
They're not accusing him of any crimes because they don't intend to prosecute. They want him gone. They don't want to deal with him. He is a guest here. He is not a citizen.
Isn't that funny how we can do that for certain things surrounding certain issues, but not others? How very queer.
That's my point too. Like there are people who ripped on the
Democrats.
You didn't like
BLM burning down those neighborhoods, and you didn't like it when they took over Columbia and
those were violent. Those were violent riots. Yeah.
So was Columbia.
I'm not as up on the Columbia thing. I believe you.
Watched it.
The Columbia University thing. Oh, dude, that wasn't. Dude, the BLM like summer was like every major city, huge areas being burned.
They were out there waving Palestinian flags, chanting anti-Semitic fucking slogans in front of that university. They took it over, made a camp city. They wouldn't allow anyone, law enforcement, faculty, staff, or student or journalist enter these forbidden areas that, again, I saw them, were policed by giant butch lesbians. They created their own de facto little country there for a couple of weeks, and no one knew what to do. And that's why all those people got fired. That's why $400 million, is it $1 billion is being cut off from that university?
Can you answer me this truthfully? Do you think if the exact same thing played out in support of Israel, that Trump would be deporting him?
In support of Israel?
If they had taken over Columbia University, if you could phrase it that way, in support of Israel. Right? They're still only letting butch lesbians walk by or something. Do you think Trump would deport this guy for his pro-Israeli stance?
I can't imagine a scenario when that would happen.
He'd be given a position in the cabinet.
You can't imagine it, right?
I can't
as creative
imagine
as you are, as like
it would never happen.
You have the best imagine. If I wanted to start a new YouTube channel and needed brilliant ideas, I swear to God, you would be the guy that I'd call. But you can't imagine a pro-Israeli protest.
Not one like that. Not one that takes over. You would have in this scenario.
Why? There's no reason to protest when both establishment parties are fully in their pocket.
We're talking a hypothetical here, though, and I'm saying they're only deporting this guy because they don't like what he has to say.
Yeah.
All right. In this hypothetical scenario, again, you would need the university to somehow be supporting a terrorist organization, and then the Israelis to be boycotting, to be protesting that, right?
Sure.
And then Trump wouldn't like if they broke the law. You would also need the person who we're removing to be a foreigner, right? So you'd need like
a green card, permanent resident.
Okay, I don't know how green cards work. I don't know what a green card does, but it doesn't sound like a permanent thing. It's permanent?
I'm positive. Yeah, this is a thing that I know because I work with so many.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, you're not a citizen. Yes, everything but voting.
So, and are you afforded the same rights under the Constitution as a non-U.S. citizen?
I don't
think green card holder.
I'm not positive.
I don't think so.
That seems
Maybe I could be
relevant
wrong,
at this moment.
Well, I know, but I'm not a qualified attorney. I don't make it up.
To me, that's the crux of the issue. Because we're talking about whether this guy should be afforded these rights, his First Amendment right, and I'm saying I don't think he has a First Amendment right. I think there's a lot of people that don't. And they don't get it. And that's why it's so nice to be here and to be an American citizen. I don't know. I love it. I hope they disappear. Let him go. I drill holes in his head with a power drill for all I care. I didn't like those protests. You burn up the American flag and you, look, I'm not going to prosecute you for doing it, but I'm not going to come try to bail you out when Marco Rubio disappears your ass.
Yeah, I don't like burning American flags or like the ripping on America either at all, but I also don't like seeing like a lawful resident being taken to task.
What does that mean? What's a lawful resident does not have a First Amendment right, does he? Full rights and privileges, including voting, running for office. A U.S. citizen has those.
Oh, I looked at
green card holder, permanent resident.
Green card holders do have the same rights as citizens. By the way, undocumented immigrants have the same rights as citizens. I didn't know
that's
that.
retarded.
They have a Second Amendment right. They can hold and bear arms.
No.
What I'm reading is everyone in the United States is protected by the U.S. Constitution. This includes green card holders, visa holders, and undocumented immigrants. Unlike citizens, there's one more sentence. Unlike citizens, green card holders are susceptible to be removed if they violate their status in the U.S. Now, I did read that deporting him is legal. No one's arguing that the Trump administration doesn't have the right to deport him because you can deport a green card holder for any reason. But he does have a First Amendment right, so they're kind of doing it for no reason.
Yeah,
un-American, organizing un-American, anti-American, hate-filled.
It wasn't anti-American.
I watched it. They burned American flags. They're wearing those Palestinian flags as masks. It was.
I'm a little torn as to whether we should hold him responsible for everything everyone did at the protest. Like part of me sees where you're coming from. Like I'm not.
Rubio does.
Yeah, Rubio does. I'm not instinctively like just knee jerking Orange Man bad here. I'm like, this does seem problematic. That apparently this guy tried to organize a peaceful protest. I know I saw them stop Jewish people from walking to class, right? I hated it. I don't like it. I can't back that. But he didn't do that or want that. He was trying to organize something peaceful. And no one seems to argue with what I just said is true.
I would.
Yeah, well, I don't like the anti-American sentiment, but like you kind of have to allow that a bit because
from American citizens, absolutely. But
from Americans, I understand your distinction.
If you're on any tentative ground as far as your American citizenship or your status here, if your rights can be drawn into question by the average American, which is the three of us here, none of us really know. Like, do they? What much rights do they have? Then maybe you don't run a protest, organize a protest that's anti-American, anti your university, and criminal in its very nature by denying all those people their education that they paid way too fucking much money for. And just, I don't know what you call it when you kidnap a locale.
What did those people?
If I'm armed, if I walk into your establishment and I say, I saw this the other day. It's about bank robberies. Like you walk into a bank, you hand them a note that says, "Give me all the money." That's 3 years. That's bank robbery. You get 3 years for that. They hand you the money, but while they're handing you the money, if they're going too slow, and you say, "Step aside," they step aside, and you reach and you grab the money. You kidnapped them in that moment. When you directed them, you kidnapped them. You had just added 20. Now it's 28 years.
It's not where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to say, "Shut the door. No one can come or go." I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I think like that's kidnapping.
That's very obviously kidnapping. Yeah,
right.
That's what I would picture.
It's as minor as that. It becomes kidnapping. So I don't know what you call it when you kidnap a university from people, but that's what they did. And look, if it was some liberal arts student from San Diego and they were trying to disappear him, her, it, I'll fucking protest with you. Fuck that shit. I don't care if it was a dog. If there was a will, I'll tweet something and I'll say it here and I'll be honest about it. If they catch some cat boy in San Diego that's like burning American flags and they try to send his ass to Gitmo and he was born and raised here, fuck that shit. He's an American dog boy. You leave him the fuck
likely
alone.
to be from San Francisco.
True. Yeah, they would be from San Francisco.
No, there's a lot of naval personnel in San Diego. Trust me, that's where the cat boys
are. Okay.
Huh.
I'll trust you. I'll take your word on it.
If you're in the Navy or any of the other armed forces, let us know in the comment box. Where are the cat boys at in the armed forces?
Where do we get?
We all know they're in the Coast Guard.
No, my guess
those
is,
guys get their hands dirty.
Are you guys guessing Air Force? Something about me thinks I'm picturing like someone in a mascot suit wearing like long leggings, like sitting there with an Xbox controller.
So I think there's a lot of that.
Navy's almost so stereotypical. Like I picture Navy gays as like loud and proud.
Not anymore, but formerly perhaps.
Until this administration, yeah.
You're not loud and proud anymore?
You gotta keep that on the down low.
They're still proud. We just, keep it down.
Just keep it down. Just calm down a little bit, guys. You're fucking fruiting around loudly.
That's the slogan for Pride Month 2025. Keep it down.
That's the slogan. Yeah. Calm down.